Hello, everybody. My name is RyunnEldred, Eldred, and welcome to the Nerdgazmic podcast. I'm here with my co-host, WhiskeyNBri, wishing you another wonderful episode. If you guys are listening to this on any of your podcast streaming services, you can catch the video format in which you see me dying over on the Nerdgazmic Goodfellas YouTube channel.
I do have to say,
in the description below. I'm currently dying and I don't have anything to drink.
I do have to say, if you can't tell from my attire, we got our first sponsor. Tide.
Tide?
I did not plan this. I just threw on clothes. But it's actually themed. It's actually themed because it says Hogwarts, probably backwards.
And it's an owl hat.
It's Hedwig. It's actually a Harry Potter hat.
Are we doing our first fit check for the podcast?
Yes, sir.
I'm wearing an Eminem Curtain Call 2 t-shirt and boxers.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Just boxers. No, he has no pants on.
I got socks on too, which makes everything weird.
Hey man, I rock that too. I'm actually feeling pretty naked because I'm not wearing socks right now.
But well, let's jump into our small talk, which if you guys caught the last episode, we did mention we were going to talk about Resident Evil 9 Requiem.
Mm-hmm.
I just finished the game a couple days ago. I'm so excited to beat it. This is everybody's moment now. If you're watching the vidcast version, I'm going to throw a little time up here when it's spoiler free, because we're going to talk about some things. There's going to be some spoilers for Resident Evil 9 Requiem. I'm going to clip in when you should skip forward if you don't want any spoilers. So here is my voice saying when to go to. 24 minutes.
This is your last chance.
Don't interrupt me, Brian. 24 minutes and 48 seconds. Holy shit, was that game so fucking good.
Yes, dude.
I did the bad ending first, like you recommended. And so knowing that Leon goes the way he goes, I'm not gonna try to give so many spoilers to where we just ruin the context of the game, because I want people to play it. But the way he goes, if I wouldn't have known he was gonna go already, I would have cried.
Mm-hmm.
I would have absolutely bawled my little bitchy eyes out.
Because,
like oh my god, that was sad. And then that final delivery of, well, at least I was able to save you.
And then Grace at the end saying, "I wish I could have saved you." The cycle is going to keep going. If that was the canon ending, then the guilt just keeps. Yeah.
Because oh my god, the whole Raccoon City Police Department bit, the fact that there was like 2 enemies during the entire bit there.
Yeah, you run into 2 zombies, and then
you run into 2
2
police officers and another tyrant. And I was just like, oh my god. Literally, like, looking at Branna's desk and literally hearing Leon be like, "I'm reporting for duty, Mr. Brandon." And I was just like, And the fact that Zeno, that cocky motherfucker, moved the welcome Leon banner to the front. Because he was like, "Hold on, Grace. Give me a second, Grace."
How fucking petty.
He's all, "Yeah, I did that." And Grace is like, "Welcome, Leon? Like, what are you doing?" Because, he had to have literally just set that up in front of her.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, that's the first thing he did when he saw the welcome Leon and was like, "I'm going to fuck with this bitch." And he's definitely chuckling with himself. He's like, "How funny is that?" Like, nudging Grace.
He's like, "Hey, Grace." Because, like, I found it so interesting, and I really like Grace as a character, and I don't think they're going to bring her back. Or if they do bring her back, she's going to be a non-essential character to where she's doing stuff in the background. Because I don't know if you read the file at the end of the game, but her FBI report.
Mm-mm.
Did you didn't read her?
I might not have, actually. I don't think I did.
So she does an FBI report that you unlock after beating the game. I don't know if you had to find all the documents first or not, because on my first
I'm missing like 5, I think.
On my first playthrough, I found all the documents and all the raccoons.
Nice. I actually didn't know that you could explore the RPD as much as you could, so I missed a lot of them in there.
There's
Yeah.
a lot in Raccoon City where it's like you have to use a sniper and aim outwards to find them out in
Really?
the background. Yeah.
Huh.
There's like two of them that are like that.
Okay. I
I
actually didn't know that.
So the only Mr. Raccoon that I had to go back in a previous save to go get was in the clinic. That section where you're Leon with the sniper rifle like covering Grace.
I
There's
didn't
a
know there was
Mr.
one there either.
There's a Mr. Raccoon on one of the posts.
Okay. Huh.
And that was the only Mr. Raccoon I missed that I had to go through and reload a save real quick and grab.
Yeah,
And
see,
then the
I didn't.
files, I missed the very first file in the game, which was the pamphlets. And
Yeah,
then
on the
I
board, dude,
missed,
I watched that and I was like, ah, you know, you missed it.
I was
Man.
so pissed off about it. Because David even was the one that was like, "Did you grab the pamphlet at the beginning of the game?" And I was like, "No." I was like, I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting no lore drop in the first 10 seconds of
And
the
it's not even
game.
important. It's just like talking about for I totally forgot what town it's in. But Westbury, something like that.
Aubrey. It's Chicago. The
Yeah.
fictional city is Chicago.
But what did you think about the tyrant showing back up?
I loved it. I loved a lot of the callbacks. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the things I keep seeing in the Facebook Resident Evil like fan group that I'm a part of is a lot of the assets from this game are technically bosses from Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil 1. So they could be reusing assets for a remake. Because
Mm.
literally one of the
They did,
bosses is
pretty
Black
sure didn't they?
Tiger, which is a giant spider, which was the same exact spider we fought as Leon in the beginning of Raccoon. And then another one of the bosses is Plant 42.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the game, right before we go into the arc, you fight Plant 43. Which,
Right.
fuck that section. I jumped so many times because of the plant.
Good. Hey, look, a box, and then the fucking plant gets you.
It just
Did,
kept jump scaring me every like 5 seconds to the point where I was just like, I'm so sick of it.
mm-hmm. I don't know if you watched mine, but they
I
got me the
haven't yet.
first they got me the first couple times, and then after that I had their number. Well, actually, I don't think I posted that video yet. That's actually my last video.
The last
Uh,
one I saw was Leon going into the RPD.
yeah, that's I haven't posted my last video yet. Because my last
But
video
now I could
is
watch them all because I finished the game and I'm not gonna get spoiled.
yeah, but no, I
It
haven't
took
posted my
me
last video yet.
it took me
That would be
19 hours to beat the game.
19 hours on your first run. That's how
19
thorough
hours on
you
the
were. You know how long it took me on my first run?
There's
It,
literally a clip of me in one of the videos looking at a wall like, wow, man, the bookcase is so well detailed that I'm looking at the wall. Don't fucking notice a door right in front of me. It's the
oh
door into
man.
Gideon's office in the very
Mhm.
beginning where the journal is. Didn't even realize there was a door in that room because I was admiring the look of the actual building itself.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Difference in gaming style, man. And how many episodes is your video gonna or is your gameplay run? Oh my God, I can't even talk.
I just put out episode 8. Let me open my file here and let me go to Requiem. 14.
14.
14 episodes.
You want to know how many mine is gonna be after I
How
post my
many?
last video? I think like 5.
So we could do the talkie talk.
But but
That
I
wasn't
think
Hunk.
that wasn't no
That's
no, I
the
don't think it was Hunk
commander
either.
from Umbrella Corp. The one you play as in the story mode for their multiplayer game Umbrella Corp. That was a PS4 exclusive. And I don't
Oh, you
think
just
the
posted a sorry.
what I just
I just saw
posted what
your most I saw your most recent posted video. Oh, sorry. My
which
ADHD.
which
The
one is it?
the Gears Reloaded PvP video.
Uh dude, I had such a shitty time playing that today. I lost every single game. I was MVP like a good majority of the time. I lost every single game. And like the 2 or 3 games that I almost won, my entire squad would leave right at the end of the game.
Ain't
I
that
was
some
like,
shit?
what is this fucking bullshit? What'd
But
you
yeah, I
think
was
of
wrong. Actually, 6 videos. My Requiem run is going to be 6 videos. But that's also because I think my videos were longer than yours. My
yeah.
last three I think were like 2 to 3 hours long.
Literally my videos would have been cut in half if I didn't explore Raccoon City.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason I didn't mind that long was because someone actually asked me to do longer videos for
Yeah, because
Requiem.
I was gonna say I don't do over like an hour and a half for them, or I try not to do over an hour and a half.
Oh yeah.
So
Bro,
a lot of them should end around the hour 30, hour 40 mark.
did you watch my one of my recent videos?
The Little
This would be a
Nightmare,
tangent, it'll be a short tangent.
the Little Nightmare.
No, Nathan Morgan Dilemma.
Oh yeah, the really horrible AI video game. Yeah,
Bro,
that was
that
why I messaged you that the other day about the
oh yeah, yeah.
no,
You did.
nobody loves you, but you're really good in bed. I'm horny
She's
because
like, he's like, what were you doing the night of the murder? I was talking to my boyfriend. Was your boyfriend here? My boyfriend doesn't need to be here to make me an orgasm. Do your parents like your boyfriend?
nobody loves
They
him.
call nobody loves him. They call him a badass, but I love him so much. And I'm like, I was so mad. Ugh,
I was like peak dialogue right there. I was like absolute
what
cinema.
is this fucking dialogue? Okay, so it's an AI completely written and produced. Well, not produced. It's a complete AI written and directed game, and it is. This is what I was talking about. Our first episode. This is why AI cannot make games.
But he makes her orgasm.
He doesn't need to be here to make her an orgasm.
No, he's
Okay,
so
so
badass because
short.
nobody loves him.
He has a different lifestyle. Okay, what is that lifestyle? Anyway, that was my little tangent. AI sucks. All right,
AI does suck.
back to Requiem.
God,
Um,
so good.
dude, it was so good. Okay, so I did the same thing you did. I chose the bad ending. It's so obvious. You could tell that it's like they that but they made such a big deal about releasing Requiem or Elpis, and then at the end when Leon suggests releasing or destroying Elpis, and she goes, "No, I have a plan." Okay, well, obviously we're gonna
Yeah,
release it.
no, the
So,
plan they make it very blatant that the you're supposed to release it. I didn't like Oswald E. Spencer was a bad guy.
mhm.
Entire Resident Evil series. Even the multiplayer spin-offs that they made quite recently. In one of them, you get to play as Oswald E. Spencer. He is not a good guy. And I'm sorry, but what I can't get behind him needing hope, which because his whole entire point was achieving godhood, human evolution through viral infection. And you're gonna tell me that after Umbrella got caught, he had a change of conscience?
And he thought the only way he can reconcile is by adopting an orphan.
And it's like, don't get me wrong, I Grace was a great character.
Hmm.
I think it was a big fuck you to Gideon and everybody else that I think Oswald did it out of spite. Cuz even in the final moments, like if you play Resident Evil 5 in the scene where Wesker and Oswald are having a conversation, even in his final moments before Spencer dies, he's not a good guy. You're good. You're good. You're
Okay,
good.
I took
You're
my
good.
headphones off because we're currently playing through Resident Evil 5 for my first time, so I didn't want to spoiler.
Well, I mean, the game already spoiled the fact that Spencer dies in
Oh,
2006, which
yeah.
is when Resident Evil 5 takes place. And where me and you are at, we've already seen his dead body.
Oh, right, right. Okay, I thought you were saying something else. I thought you were saying okay.
No. But even in his final moments, he wasn't a good guy. He wasn't sitting there trying to be like, "Oh, I've turned a new leaf, Wesker."
Yeah, it's definitely planned. It was definitely to fuck with them, and even then, it still was some way that Gideon was gonna find some way to use that to still fuck over everybody. Because, like he said, anarchy.
Yeah, because again, Gideon had the right idea. He knew Elpis would cause more harm fixing everything than it would fixing everything.
Explain to me how it would. I mean,
Elpis
I.
is an antiviral for all
Hmm.
viruses. It is the cure all.
Right.
So anything that was made, so every virus in Resident Evil
Hmm.
stems from a plant that we're going to encounter in the fifth game. Where me and you are currently at right now, we're going to discover the origin of everything,
Really?
which
Huh.
comes from a flower in which they made the progenitor virus. Or if you play the newer games, the megasemite is also one of the origin things that Spencer worked with. Elpis was an antiviral to all of it. So everything that's been worked on in the years leading up to this, Spencer made a cure. So that way he had one final fuck you to everything. If he himself could not become a god, nobody can.
Huh.
And that is what Gideon realized was in a world where everybody's already fighting for like the bioorganic arms race, Spencer just created the biggest deterrent,
Ah, okay.
which is going to expose everybody. Because you got to think, the United States government kind of abolished the BSAA, which was used to fight the bioorganic terrorism. The BSAA now is using bioorganic soldiers, as you could see from Resident Evil Village. At the end of
Hmm.
Village, when they grab one of the BSAA members, they're infected. The BSAA members that are in Requiem are also infected. The only people that aren't infected is the Wolf Squad, which is Chris Redfield's unit.
Which side tangent, isn't it so funny that it's so easy to spot that they're the Wolf Squadron when you first see them because
Because of the fur
they
coats and
fucking
everything.
fur coats.
I know the second I
I
saw him, I was like, that's the sniper from
did
Village.
did you there's a theory out that the guy that talks to Leon, the one that says, "Sir, I think we've got him." That's Carlos.
I
There's a
have
theory
not
out now.
heard that theory, but it would make sense, especially since, as it showed in 9, they're no longer using the OG games as their canon point. The remakes are now the new canon for the OG timeline.
Hmm.
Because this game takes place during the OG timeline, so the remakes have rewritten their way through.
Right.
So
They retcon a lot of stuff.
which would make Resident Evil 3's remake now canon, and Carlos survived. Carlos survives no matter what. It's not up for question.
And I think some people were also saying that the voice actor for that character sounded very similar to the voice actor of
Yeah,
Carlos,
but
which that's a very
you
rough.
can't
That's a very
use that
rough.
because literally they used the Dimitrescu sisters voice somebody else in Resident
Mm,
Evil as well. And then Hunk's voice actor also voiced the commander
okay, but I do like the idea that Carlos is uh
in the Wolf
that
Squad.
they're doing that. Like I've never
I
played
like
3. I
it.
know who Carlos is, but I think I like that idea of them mixing characters in because then that gives us I had an argument with somebody on YouTube comments the other day about where Resident Evil might be going now. They said that this game was a passing the torch. The old guard is dead. They're no longer the new games are all going to be new characters. That's why they introduced Grace. And I said that's absolutely not fucking true because Leon is a okay. He's 100% okay. Do you think he's done?
I
No.
mean,
Chris
he's
Redfield is running his
49.
own squad.
He's
He's getting,
49 years old, so he's near the end. Still
but it doesn't mean
peak
they
because I mean,
does.
fucking Big Daddy Leon. Once he got that Elpis in him,
Oh man,
he
one
one-handed
handed.
the Requiem.
Yes.
And then
And
even did a fucking gun twirl with this shit. And I was like, God damn.
bro, and the way
Rick.
he climbed up the mutated version of Gideon, no problem. It was
The
fucking axing his
nemesis.
heart, the nemesis.
Yeah.
And when he was fucking doing that shit, no, there's no way Leon's done. I know he's a married man.
I
He's
think
older.
we
He's probably gonna have a kid. He's probably get there's probably gonna be a future game where it's gonna include his kid somehow. Knowing them, they're probably gonna include his kid, and he's gonna end up being involved with it. But
this
Leon's not
is
done.
where I see everything. I think the DLC, I think we're gonna get a two story DLC.
Hmm.
Story DLC number one. We're gonna have it follow Grace and Leon. And it's gonna like tie up loose ends with their kind of conjoined story. And then we're gonna get another DLC that will be Chris and Jill. That or Ada. Because most games that involve Leon have an Ada segment. And I highly doubt that this is going to be the first game in Leon's story that Ada does not make an appearance.
She obviously did. Didn't you see the ring on his finger,
What's
sister? Come
actually
on.
really, really interesting was Ada was a scrapped character for Village.
Really?
Yes, so if you look at the behind the scenes and kind of stuff like the concept art, they had a fully drawn out version of Ada that would appear throughout the game helping Chris and Ethan, and it looked like she was maybe part of the Wolf Squad because the outfit she had. They didn't mention anything to it, but she had
Oh.
an outfit.
Oh, Ada
Because
in a wolf outfit.
in Resident Evil
Oh,
6, she goes against the connection, which was the main bad of this game and of
huh.
many of the other games because they pulled the things behind the scene. In Resident Evil 6, the connections tried to frame Ada for an outbreak and Chris hunted her down.
Huh.
That is like a huge story plot in Resident Evil 6. Sorry to spoil a little bit of that to you. It doesn't spoil a lot.
Yeah, what the
It
frick,
doesn't
man?
spoil a lot, but like you'll see and you'll understand when we get to that game.
I'll probably forget by the time we play it because we're still working
Probably
through
you
5.
your mental paralysis is
My
small as
recall is dog water, so,
not total.
huh? No, but
But
my point was this guy was saying that the old guard's dead. Chris Redfield's still doing his thing. He's leading his own platoon.
him and
Uh,
Jill are still leading the BSAA like they originally did because they were the
mhm.
original members
Which
of the
who knows,
BSAA.
they might not be on the front lines, but we
I
know the
think
game they're gonna find some way to make them on the front lines.
I think
Um,
we're gonna get one final game that's going to put all of the original survivors together, doing one final push to finally close it all out. And then everything we will get after that will be new characters with support from the OGs. So kind of like how in 7 and 8 Chris showed up as a supporting role,
mhm.
and then kind of throughout the majority of Requiem outside of Leon's entire bit, Leon was a supporting role. Throughout the first half of the
And
game, you only played
yeah,
Leon for small segments
I
until they
which
gave us the opportunity to go through Raccoon
can
City.
we
But it wouldn't have hit the same if we were Grace going through Raccoon City. It
can
had
we
to be Leon.
can we talk about how great that balancing was?
Oh my
The
god, it was
the dude,
so fluid.
I the it, I knew the minute that Grace went with Zeno
Zeno and
and
Gideon.
Gideon, I'm like, okay, Leon time. That's why that video, my part 5, it's 100% Leon, because and I call it Leon Kennedy Adventures because it's literally just ever since that. Then at the very end of the game when you're at Arc, it's 50-50. You go through the whole section as Grace, and then you get to go through the same exact section as Leon, and it's the same amount of time. It's so perfect. I feel like
It had perfect
that's why
balancing.
that's why Requiem was so good for me. It's got my game of the year so far. I know we're really early in the year. I know GTA 6 is coming out this year. I might vote against it, honestly, just out of spite. Because
And E Day. Because
and
they
E-Day,
just they put today, as of recording today, March 30th, they finally gave us a little bit of tidbit information about E-Day, that
You
it is
know,
going to be the main event of the Summer Game Festival. And
you
this
know
is what
how
I think.
torn I am.
This is what I think. I don't think the game's going to come out this year. I think because here's the thing. We were told last year the game was going to come out this year.
Okay.
And they surprise dropped Reload. Gears of War Reloaded. I think we're either gonna get E-Day now, and with the announcement, we're gonna get Gears of War 2 Reloaded, or we're gonna get an announcement of another Reloaded. Because here, I think before we get Gears 6, they're going to have the main trilogy and possibly 4 and 5 released on PlayStation with it to hit the max amount of people. And it would make sense.
Which
It would make sense.
Xbox, it's
Do
the
what
Xbox
Resident
standard right now,
Evil do what Resident Evil is doing right now and release remakes in between main title releases.
which they already have. They've released,
So last year we got Gears of War Reloaded.
right?
So me personally, if it was given the ultimatum of them coming out, the E-Day's all up there, they show a new trailer because we only got one trailer.
Mm-hmm. Very short.
Most games give 2 to 3 trailers before a game comes out.
Most games, they do. I mean, shadow dropping has become a very solid thing right now.
But they're
So
not going to shadow drop a
I
new
know.
major release. But they would shadow drop a remake. Bethesda does it. Bethesda did it with Oblivion. And Oblivion is a big fucking game. And they
Yeah,
shadow dropped it. They're like, by the way, Oblivion Remastered is available today. And they could do that with Gears of War. And what it will do is people who are wanting a new Gears game are going to be so excited because we've never gotten a Gears of War 2 Ultimate Edition. We only got Gears of War 2. If we're going to play Gears of War 2, you have to play the original Xbox 360 version, which is kind of a hot mess right now.
I really
Think
hope.
about it. Think about it.
I really hope Todd Howard didn't fuck things up, especially with Bethesda saying, "I'm kind of becoming a fan of shadow dropping games."
I
And now
kind of
that
am too.
I am, but if it's not going to become at the cost of games we are expecting of them being like, hey, you know this game that you've been waiting for? How about we shadow drop something else?
And you know what's going to be even
How
good
about
about
that?
this shadow drop is I'll still get Gears of War for free because I have Xbox Game Pass.
Wah, wah. That's a womp womp for me because I can't afford Game Pass. It's because I
It
it's
is
because
expensive, but
I swapped teams. I'm sorry.
hey, you can still get on PlayStation. One time purchase, and then we could
That
play together
that is true. That
because
is
it's
very true.
crossplay.
Yeah. Which okay, this is another little side tangent. I'm sorry, I'm the tangent man today. PlayStation has announced that they're going to do dynamic pricing. Have you ever heard of that? Have you ever heard of that? Dynamic pricing?
I think it's gonna benefit me because I don't buy a lot of stuff on PlayStation, so they're gonna make things really cheap for me.
Yeah. So basically, let me explain it for you plebeians who don't use PlayStation. I'm not a part of that. But anyway, so basically, the more you buy off the PlayStation Store, the more they're going to charge you. Because their idea is if you can buy more games, you can afford to pay a higher price. So, you know what I'm going to do? GameStop's
Switch
getting
back
my
to
money.
Xbox.
No,
Oh, you
oh,
still have a GameStop?
yeah, we have a GameStop in our mall.
I
We have
have
a mall.
one in my area.
What happened to the Red
One.
Bluff GameStop?
They shut down like 2 years ago.
Oh,
Almost every location in Chico has shut down. Most of the locations in Reading have shut down but one.
my only problem with my GameStop in my local area is it smells like ass. I walked in. Okay, so when we first moved here, I walked into our mall, which is a half dead mall because of uh, virus reasons. I'm not gonna say why. Um, when I
Outbreak,
walked,
somebody nuke where he lives. It's Raccoon
it,
City all
it
over again.
it's I'll say it rhymes with Plovid 19. But
Logan.
we walked in there to go to the movie theater, and I was like, oh shit, right down the hall here, there's a GameStop. I walked in, poked my head in, and it smells like mm, let's say a neckbeard's basement. So I never go in there. But anyway, GameStop might be getting my business because of this whole dynamic pricing. If it becomes a thing, it has been announced that it's going to be a thing, but with how the public feedback has been, it might not be a thing. But anyway, continue, Tim.
So I'm going to jump onto the topic of our actual theme because it relates to our small talk of
Okay.
Resident Evil. Um, we wanted to talk about horror gaming.
Yes.
And I looked up many different version or genres within the horror category for gaming.
Okay.
So we have one of the big ones, survival horror, which are games like Resident Evil and Silent Hill.
Dead Space.
No.
No.
Yes and no. Yes and
Dead
no.
Space. Dead
Dead
Space took
Space
a
is
lot of
under.
inspiration from Resident Evil.
Yes, it is a survival horror game, but Dead Space does fall under a different category of horror.
Mm. Okay, we'll have to see what you classify it as. We might disagree.
There is psychological horror, which is games like Layers of Fear, Visage, The Evil Within, which
Hmm.
is also just going to say The Evil Within is also a survival horror because of ammo management and all that, but it's more psychologically horror. Same thing with Silent Hill. There is action horror, which is games like Dead Space, The Last
3.
of Us. Yes, I will say the original Dead Space 1 was less actiony. It started ramping the action up in 2.
Hmm.
There is stealth horror, like games like Outlast, Alien Isolation, jump
Amnesia.
scare amnesia. Yeah, amnesia is a very big one. Jump scare horror like Five Nights at Freddy's, Poppy's Playtime, stuff like that. There is atmospheric horror like Amnesia.
Mm.
There is narrative story driven horror like the Dark Pictures anthology or Until Dawn. There is cosmic horror like the Call of Cthulhu. Body horror, which is games like The Evil Within. I would say games like Bloodborne or Dark Souls do have kind of a body horror with some of their
I would
monsters,
say, yeah, like Dark
but
Souls 3 and Bloodborne, definitely, yeah.
I feel that falls under more of gothic horror. There is folk horror like the game Madon or I think it's called Home Sweet Home. There is religious or occult horror like Devotion. And then I would say like the Mortuary's Assistant. There is sci-fi horror like Soma. Zombie infection horror like Left 4 Dead. There is puzzle horror like Little Nightmares. There I found a really funny one which is called Walking Simulator horror, like The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. You have
You could probably,
multiplayer asymmetrical horror like Dead by Daylight, Friday the 13th, or the upcoming Halloween. VR horror like Resident Evil 7 and The Walking Dead Saints and
what's
Sinners.
what's that one where you play and you're on the roller coaster and there's the clowns? It was one of the first VR games that came out that was a
Oh,
horror game.
yeah, that was an Until Dawn VR.
Was that it was the
Yeah,
one
it
where you
was.
had like the clowns and shit.
Yes, it was a Until Dawn kind of spin-off horror.
Oh,
And
okay.
then they also did The Inpatient, which is a prequel sequel to Until Dawn, which was also VR. And then
Mm.
they also have analog horror or found footage
Mm.
horror.
Hell yeah.
You got liminal space horror like The Backrooms.
Slender
You
Man.
got you got mascot horror like FNAF and Poppy's Playtime. And then the final one is survival sandbox horror like The Forest.
That's a good one.
So there is a lot of genres of horror, and I wanted to sit back and talk to you about what your kind of favorite genre of horror is. Because I feel like we both have vast differences in the games we play. We play a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the same games, but in the games that we love and play the most of, I feel like with horror we have two different aspects. Because you
Okay.
you play different games than I do.
Right.
So
But we both have very I would say varying tastes in games that we play. We both will pretty much play anything and enjoy the fuck out of it.
that's true.
Um, but I would say my favorite genre would probably be survival horror mixed with the sandbox mixed with the zombie survival.
I would say I'm a giant sucker for zombie games.
Because
I
Left 4 Dead
tentatively
2 Left 4 Dead 2 is one of my favorite games of all time.
yes.
And now that you got me in State of Decay, I absolutely have been obsessed with State of Decay 2.
That survival
Uh,
sandbox horror is so fun.
Dead Space is also one of my favorite trilogies.
Even
Well,
though you're taking forever to
I guess
do the second
duos.
game.
I'll say duos
I'm still waiting
because
on you to beat the second so we can finally play the third.
I know I need to work on that. Um, but
That's
I
all I
really
want
need
in
to
life.
play.
I just want to
I
finish and close it
I
out.
have fallen in love with Resident Evil because of you. I have played a couple of them beforehand, but I'm really falling in love with Resident Evil. It's kind of most of what my channel's been lately.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Um, and Sandbox, I played the Forest. I love the Forest.
I know I still want to do a playthrough of the forest and eventually move to Sons of the Forest.
Yeah, I haven't even gotten to touch Sons of the Forest, but I love sandbox games anyway. And if it's a horror game, that's perfect. Mwah.
I love the
But
survival aspect, like 7 Days to Die,
that's a great one.
which just got bought by the people by Behavior, who makes Dead by Daylight. They now took over 7 Days to Die. But I love the forest because I love the survival aspect. I love having to cut down trees and build a base. I love base building games. And that sandbox of like literally the environment is your playground. You could build the fort, you could build tree houses, whatever you want to build. But still, like there's an aspect of survival. You got they're mutants, right?
Hmm.
Sorry, my Xbox is doing a weird thing.
Sorry.
So I'm shutting it off. Shutting everything off. It's like really hot in the room, so I am afraid it's overheating because I don't have the air on right now.
Oh, gotcha.
Doing my PG&E bill going up, but back to the thing. Like I really love the forest. I think me and you were talking about wanting to do it together,
We
and then I've
started, I
had
think, at one point, you and me and one other person. I can't remember who it was.
Robert,
Robert, yeah, we
yeah,
started a game, but we didn't get very
KordzikowskiPlayz.
far.
No, we like ended before we really began, and then we just never got back
Yeah,
together to do
we
it,
got
and then it
our
just
base set up, and that was about it.
and then it's like I'm also questioning whether or not I want to do it on PlayStation because with the PS5 you could buy the Forest and play it online.
Hmm.
It's
Is it
on the P.
cross-platform?
It is cross-platform, yeah.
Okay, because then we could play it together. Okay.
And Chris already has it on PlayStation, so I'm like, we could do it. We could do it. I need to figure out how to do party play and have everything come up through the party. Because it would be easier to record it through PC because then through Discord our chat gets picked up. It's a little bit harder on fuck Chris is ready to be picked up.
It's
It's a little bit
damn already.
harder. Dude, it's 10:38. So yeah.
The only thing is with Discord, there's a little bit of a delay in chat. Because believe me, sometimes I have a hard time. My Rocket League buddy, when we try to play, we communicate through Discord. You have any idea how many times I go to say I got it as I'm going towards the ball, as I hear him say I got it? And he's like, dude, I said that like 5 seconds ago. And I'm like, I didn't
Well,
hear it until
did
I
he
was already
did
hitting
he
the.
really say it 5 seconds ago, or is he just telling you that?
It might be. He might be gaslighting me. That's
Gaslighting you like a motherfucker.
yeah. But
But
anyway, like I think it
horror,
would be fine. We make it work.
yeah. I wanna dive into it. I want to do the forest. I'm gonna talk to Chris when I pick him up and see how really into it he is. Because if I get paid today, the game's only $10 to $20 on the PlayStation Marketplace. I don't
That's not
mind
bad.
buying it. I don't mind buying it again if we're actually gonna play it.
Hmm.
Or I'll just keep it on my computer and play it that way. I really don't care. It's just it depends on who's with us. Whether it's just
Right.
me and you or if it's gonna be the three of us or four of us, because David has also spoke about interest of wanting to do it too.
It's a good game.
And honestly, it'd be nice to get you and David back to playing something together because
Oh yeah.
I want everybody to come back together.
Bro, you have any
Like
idea how much I've been playing GTA Online by myself the last few weeks, and
are
I'm
you
like,
playing it
I've
on
been playing
Xbox?
on PlayStation.
Oh. Yeah, see,
Yeah,
we all got it on Xbox because you switch sides on us.
yeah. I don't have the new version, so we wouldn't. I don't know.
Taxes, my dude. No, put your priorities straight,
Uh,
all right? Fuck
I
your
need to
wife
get a
and
new
kids.
car. I got a new job. Like,
Fuck your wife and kids. Get a new Xbox. Come on, Brian. Get your
all right.
priorities
If you're
straight.
gonna twist my leg like that, I mean,
I'll
what am I
twist
gonna
all
say?
three of them.
Tell me when.
But no,
Tell me.
horror as a genre, like I didn't know there were so many subgenres. One of my favorite categories would be psychological horror. The Evil Within took me so long to beat because it literally pulled on like a lot of real life phobias I have. Fucking Reborn Laura. I'm arachnophobic as shit. I almost crashed my car today because a jumping spider was in my fucking car and it scared the shit out of me
You're
because it
lying.
jumped. No, I literally almost swerved and crashed my car because of a jumping spider. Because out of the corner of my eye, I see it jump from the seat onto the dashboard and just look at me. It turned and looked at me, and I was like, oh, fuck no.
He's like, "Hey, buddy, I'm not supposed to be here. Can you drop me off?" And you're like,
Pretty much. I'm extremely arachnophobic. Do not like spiders. Like they make the hairs on my neck stand up, everything. And Evil Within did a really good job of pulling at phobias for a psychological horror. Same thing with like games like Silent Hill. I think atmospherically Silent Hill does amazing because they had music that would induce fear while you're listening to it. That would cause you to have like panic attacks. And
hmm,
I find something so fascinating into it. And, giving you the news the last podcast where I've just got accepted into Full Sail and I'm going to be like studying on how to make games, horror is a genre of games that I'm going to want to dive into, especially if I'm making my own games that I'm absolutely going to be working on the side or just in general. And I know a long time ago in a whole other podcast called The Drinking Corner, me, Chris, and Mr. Retro like sat down and talked about making a game in which it was a horror sandbox with aliens that like took on the appearance of Wendigos and other things that I drew concept art for, and like we worked it out. And I know me and you sat down and we are kind of talk joking about like if I go to make my own game, like me and you need to talk.
mm-hmm.
Well, this is that talk on a horror aspect. Like, what would be good in your opinion? Because I want to do horror. I feel like mascot horror is really big right now, but I also feel like it's also on the outswing. It's so overdone.
Yeah. And
I
if you
know,
did, it would have to be an original idea because Poppy Playtime has been doing pretty hot lately. I think as long as you made the gameplay, if you came up with something original and you had a great gameplay idea, I think you
I
would probably still
know
be able to do it.
what I want to dive into will be a zombie horror.
Okay.
I know, like, right off the bat, I have a zombie story. I have a
Okay, if
zombie
you ha
story that I want to turn into a book that I've been spending like the last year writing. That I've had the concept of it being a book, being a game. It could be a short series on YouTube that's acted out live action wise. is like I wanted to expand it and make it not like an ARG. I think that's the terminology for it, where like
Mm-hmm.
your game kind of bleeds into real life a little bit. But
I think
I've
as
had
long as you
the
make,
want to do that, and I
I think
want to
as
make it a survival horror. But at what point does survival? Because would you consider the forest survival horror? Because you're
yeah,
surviving,
absolutely.
but are your resources really limited? Because you could go out and just cut down trees that respawn. You could, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? At
Well,
what
the
point?
survival part of it is the trying to live, because the survival part is you need food, you need water, you need shelter.
Yeah.
That's the survival part.
Which I think I think a game like State of Decay does really good the way it is. But if I were to make a
Mm-hmm.
zombie game, I would want to do something like State of Decay where it's like you could make communities, you could do all that, you're surviving, but I would want that aspect of like you have to go out and you could cut down trees and reinforce your base. You have to scavenge or hunt for food. What happens when that gets too scarce? I want multiple landmark areas. I don't want just one central map that's just kind of pre-generated. It's hard to explain, but at the
No, I
same
see what
time,
you
I
mean.
know
You
when
you
like
want
me,
something to where it's a sandbox, but you can build a community from what you build.
yeah, and I also had the concept and idea of like when me, Chris, and John got together and we talked about the alien survivor horror, where it would start off kind of you're driving, there's like a weird thing that comes across you and you crash your car, and then you wind up in a forest, and that's how it kickstarts. You're just stuck in a forest, but as you like survive and you go on, you realize that you're in like a simulation. The aliens like mimic stuff, so like Wendigo creatures, like animals, everything was very animal based in design for the enemies that would like mutate,
Mm,
kind of like the necromorphs, how there's like different stages to it, because that was kind of where my mentality went with it. You could be running and see a bear, and then the bear just like kind of rips to its legs extend, and everything gets like very body horror aspect.
okay.
But it's like as you
Uh,
keep going, you realize that you're in a simulation. The car crash never happened. It was like you are an experiment. You're in like a
hmm,
potted room that you were like building and surviving in. And once you have the resources to exit, you could go into the wider area of a ship. Every time you died, you just reset. Your stuff wouldn't disappear, but it would be weathered like over time. So it's like if you died, it would seem like 5 years have passed to like everything you built.
that's pretty cool. I like that idea.
And it just keeps
That
aging and wearing out, and just you would keep going until the point of where you reached the ship. And then from the ship, it would shift into a completely different game.
Can I pitch an idea, a game idea that something I've been thinking about?
Yeah.
It, 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 it- okay, so for the horror end of it, it would be a little bit more, I guess, kind of mixture between the forest and then the survival part being a little like Subnautica. Um, so I have been thinking about a game. I just don't know how to make it, but the idea is you're on a ship that is coming from Earth to another planet to start colonizing it. Something happens on the ship and the ship crashes, but you're on a escape pod with like four people, you including you. And it would also, I guess technically it would also take inspiration from State of Decay, because you have your character and the three other people, but you could swap between all four of them. When you land on the planet in the escape pod, you are trying to build a civilization. You're going to still keep with the mission of colonizing, and you're going to start with, chopping down wood, building sheds, building a wall, trying to find things that you can eat. Some things will be poisonous because you're on an alien planet. You don't know what's poisonous, what's not. So you're trying to figure out what you can make antidotes for the poison, stuff like that. You get to a point to where you have a civilization, it's log down what's poisonous, what not. If you die, you just switch to another character. You get to a point to where you start recognizing the animals. They're alien animals. Some of them can be domesticated, but some of them, especially at night, they're more of like stalker types. To where like it would be like running into a jaguar. You don't know what a fucking jaguar is, and you run into one of those in the middle of the night. That would be fucking horrifying. But it's some alien monster. Um, so you're trying to survive this alien planet with limited resources with three other people. And you can assign jobs to the other characters if you're playing by yourself. But as you get to a certain point, then you can start actually building, steel buildings. You can make a transmitter to try to call more people in and eventually build an actual civilization. Start building an actual town, call more people in, have more people that can go out and gather resources, and eventually try to actually colonize like what the main mission is.
That actually sounds very intriguing, and it's like I could see it from the standpoint of kind of like Ark. Like
Yeah,
it's a little mixture because I know Forest 3 was announced, and the
hmm.
Forest 3 is a space game.
Really?
Yeah, so if
Oh
you
wait,
look
I
it up,
remember seeing that. I remember seeing that. Yeah.
yeah, you crash on an alien planet in an alien forest.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not kidding you at all. That is the premise of Forest 3. Watch the trailer for it. The guy literally crashes into an alien forest.
All right,
But it
we'll mark that
also
down as parallel thinking, I
it's
guess.
like the
Fuck.
forest mixed with Ark. Cause once you get out of the horror aspect of not having anything and you start being able to call in and you got people coming in, then the alien species that inhabit the planet, whether it's something that has cognitive function to be able to militarize with you and against you, would be intriguing. So it's like the bigger the base you bring in, the more of a resistance you would get, type thing.
All right, well, I guess X name my idea because that sounds like they're already doing it. Fuck.
No, I mean adding on to your plan with that, like
Hmm.
if you were colonizing the planet, the more people you bring, the aliens should be doing the same.
Yeah, you start getting more resistance because there's more people there, and I don't know what the end game would be. That was just that was literally a driving
That's
home
just a
idea that I locked
theory.
in my
No.
head. Game theory.
Yeah, no, that sounds very intriguing and I like the idea of that. I like it.
You can go ahead and steal that because I'm not
I
making it.
will.
But no, hey,
That's
I'm
gonna
not
be my
talking to you.
entire
I'm talking
that's
to
gonna be my
Tim.
entire thing for Full Sail. That's I'm just gonna ride your coattails through my entire degree.
I'll brainstorm some more ideas for you. But hey,
Awesome.
remember where you came from.
I'll write them down and I'll make sure at the very end credit it'll be like and no thanks to Whiskey and Bry who couldn't come up with a single idea.
Ah,
Just completely throw you on blast at the end of the game. But then at
dang
the
it.
very end in very small letters, thank you for being the beta playtester.
Damn. I just get mixed. I'm not even at the start of the list for beta testing. I'm like in the bottom.
You're like at the very end of the game.
Or I'm in the middle so nobody even sees me.
I'll
Nah,
have
it's all
like
good.
I'll erect a shrine to David as like an Easter egg and then just give him like a 6 paragraph like thank you at the end of the game. Just somebody who had nothing to do with any of it. Just give him all
All
the
right.
credit. Be like, and thank you,
Just
Mark Zuckerberg,
let me
for
have it.
believing in me.
Let me at least have a cameo. You don't even have to pay me.
You'll be every single sound effect of the game.
Ooh. Ah.
Pew 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 pew.
And the wood chopping noise. But yeah, that's my idea. I don't know. There's plenty of opportunity to make some pretty original ass games. Sounds like the Force is already making mine. But you can always come up with something else,
I mean, look at how many different spin-offs there are of Five Nights at Freddy's. You could have the same idea and just run with it and still make money off of it. Because those people who do Five
Exactly.
Nights at Fuck Boys or Five Nights at SpongeBob or Five Nights at fucking whatever the fuck place they're doing, they make money off of that for using this.
Five Nights at Bob's Burgers.
Oh my god, I'd survive until I came to the Tina boss wave.
He
I
starts
die
twerking on you
instantly.
and you just
I'm like,
evaporate.
no!
No, get dusted like Thanos. From Thanos.
Gene's just over there in the burger costume staring at you through the window.
Doing
He's
fart
not even
noises with his
he's not even in the inside of the burger shop like the entire game. He just stands at the door staring at you.
Bro, that would be so scary. Oh
And
my
there's
god,
like
I'm actually scared right now.
there's like a hidden uncomfortability meter. If he gets
I'm so
maxed out, Tina just runs up and gets you.
Bro, I'm so scared right now.
I know.
And here Linda, and she's like, "Oh my god, Bob, he's
So
not eating your burgers." And then
on
Bob comes
on
up and
the
just starts stabbing you.
on the end topic of horror as a genre, what would you say your least favorite is?
That's a hard one.
For me, it's
Because
jump scare.
if it's
I
okay, if it's a cheap jump scare, okay, like here's an example. In my first video that's on my channel, me playing Backrooms with a couple buddies, there's a smiling monster that will just jump scare you. And it actually happens in my video. I'm running away from the big bad monster and I turn around and accidentally run into it and it goes at my face. If it's something like that, like where it's not deserved, Dead Space does great jump scares to where you know it's coming
but it still catches you off
and
guard.
they're far between. And so, if it's something where it relies on jump scares,
Yeah, I don't like jump scare horror as like a genre where the whole game is just God, it's hard to say that because I love Five Nights at Freddy's. I love Five Nights at
but
Freddy's.
that's the thing though, is Five Nights at Freddy's doesn't rely on the jump scares. It relies on the anxiety from the ambiance and the expectation. You
The
know
tension.
something's gonna happen. Yeah, the tension. Like you're closing the doors, you're checking the lights, you're checking the cameras, and you fuck up. Uh-oh. The light or the power shuts off. Uh-oh. You open up the
Ooh,
camera.
ooh, 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 ooh.
And you know you're
All
fucked.
right.
Still get you.
Well, Chris is ready to be picked up, so unfortunately, we got to end the podcast episode here. I'm sorry, everybody, we didn't get to really talk about what we were wanting to talk about. We went on a lot of tangents, but still had fun. I
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
we talked about the horror genre and we talked about Resident Evil 9. That was our main ones, right?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Pretty much, since we've taken like 3 weeks off.
Yeah.
But I have a plan for the next episode that I'll talk to you about as soon as we're done with this. Thank you guys so much for watching or listening through on any of your podcast streaming services and or the Nerdgazmic Goodfellas YouTube channel, where you can catch the video format of both me and Brian sitting here very beautifully talking into the void of nothingness, which is you guys. I'm not saying you are nothing, because you are something. But
You're
to us
everything to
right
me.
now, you are a void.
You are everything to me.
Brian, calm down. You can't have another lawsuit.
Ah, shit, he's right.
But thank you guys so much. In the description down below, you'll find links to all of our social medias, our YouTube channels, Twitch streams. Everything's linked down there. If you guys are curious what music plays at the beginning and ending of both podcasts, we have that linked in there. You guys should check out the description. Let us know what your favorite and least favorite horror genre and or game is. I'm about to be diving into the Fatal Frame series for the first time and seeing what that's about. So I'm intrigued.
And I've been playing through Little Nightmares, and that has been horrifying.
Yeah, it has been funny watching you play through it. So check that out for the YouTube video. Check out the in-screen annotations. I will be linking in my Resident Evil, his Resident Evil, the podcasts, Maybe not his Resident Evil. If I link my Resident Evil, I might do his little nightmares. It just depends, but there will be a video from me, a video from him, this podcast, and mine and Rosgriz the Boss Foss's podcast in the in-screen annotations. Hit that bell icon to be notified when videos come out, and we will see you in the next podcast coming next Wednesday. This one's coming out April 2nd. So a week from April 2nd, you'll see the next episode. We're going to do better at being on time. I don't want to promise because life happens, but you know what?
No, it's happening.
Yeah,
I'll make that guarantee.
He will. I have that whole week off, so there's no excuse on why both podcasts won't come out. So,
and I'm going to have 3 days off in a row soon, so.
Toodaloo, everybody.